Hello everyone, the intention of this video is to help you a bit with the solution of the second lab. Okay, so the first section you're having some flowcharts and the instruction is, I think, easy and clear here, so it's important that you read it carefully. It says, do the desk check corresponding to each of the diagrams and determine its final result. Okay, but you should consider the given input values as the data entered by the user when the flowchart is executed. Okay, so it is not to find a mistake on the diagrams because they are correct, they don't have errors. The thing is that, for example, in this first diagram, you're given an input value of 34.7. So that is a value that you should consider that the user will type in this box, okay, in an input box. And then you should follow the flowchart just logically, I mean in your mind. There's no need that you enter this flowchart to be signed. Just follow it and at the end tell if it will display what according to this box and according to these two boxes and of course the decision. So that is what you should do in the flowchart number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, that is the first section of the lab. Second section is the one that includes problems to solve by flowcharts. So here basically you are asked to create flowcharts and copy paste them here. In the first problem, you're having the situation of a new student at Prepa Tech that is having a dilemma of some extracurricular activities that he want to enter. So basically, it's a situation like High School Musical, the movie. I don't know if you saw it, okay, but it's basically that. Because this guy wants to sing, but he also wants to play basketball. And depending on the option that he chooses, he's going to experience some consequences, right? So you can find here the consequences. The intention, guys, truly what matters the most is that you create two flowcharts, okay? One that is using nested decisions and the other using logic operators like and, or, and not. Okay, if you have issues on distinguishing between these two type of diagrams, I would recommend you go to the presentation of activity 4 and here on exercise 1, you're having this that is an example of nested conditions. I mean, one condition that depends on another one, on a previous one, okay? The other case that it's on slide number 6 is this one. When you include a double condition linked with an AND, this is what we call a flowchart with logic operators because AND is a logic operator, okay? So here, when you stand something like this, is to tell that both conditions should be true, so that the flowchart goes by the true arm, okay? And in the case that any of the conditions is false, then the flowchart will go by the no arm or the false arm, right? So, okay, landing this knowledge into the the flowchart, right, that you're going to create. Let's say that I create a flowchart, and here the first thing to do, of course, will be to ask, okay, ask for this student if he wants to sing or he wants to play basketball. You need to ask, well, you need to ask both questions. So you're going to say, for example, want to sing, and save the answer on a variable sing, right? Then you're going to ask, want to play basketball, okay, play basketball, and you save his answer on the variable basketball. Then, if we are considering the first flowchart that asks for nested decisions, so you can say here, for example, if sing is equal yes, and then include a second decision here inside of this first one where you say, okay, if sing was yes, then if basketball is yes, okay, yes. So then the consequence, we need to check what is it going to be, and basically is something that you will display. So you go to the problem and it says, if this guy decides to sing and play basketball, it will be stressful. So we can say you will be stressed. Something as that. Okay? And this is an example of a nested flowchart. Okay, so you can include here, please, the other consequences and the other decision here. If the answer to singing was false, then you should say still what will happen with the basketball thing. Okay, basketball. If it is true, okay, so check it out. We're saying basically if singing is yes, then if singing yes is false, then if basketball yes it's true, what will happen? Okay, and if singing was no and basketball is no, what will happen? That is what you will display here. Okay, so basically this is kind of the solution. We already did it together, the solution of letter A, right, of the request of a nested decision. Then, for using logic operators, what you're going to do is you start asking, that doesn't change for sure, but then these decisions shouldn't be here, okay? What you're going to do is include a double condition in every if, okay? So check, for example, you're going to say, if sing is equal yes and with this ampersand, that is what pSign accepts, and basketball is yes, and you display, you will be stressed. Okay, that's it. If you click this button, all the shapes open up to show you the entire text. Okay, so it's a good decision to click this button. Then after this decision, you're going to include a second decision where you say, if sing is again yes, but now you're going to play with basketball is no, what will happen? And you're going to mention here. And then another decision after this one, and then another final decision in there. Okay, so that you have like 1, 2, 3, 4 cases, the same that we have here in the document, 4 cases. Okay, I hope that this clarifies these two flowcharts that you need to do in problem 1. Then in problem 2, you're having an international sales company that pay customs duties for items that it distributes. So basically the taxes will depend on the price of the article, fine? And it says if the article if the price is only 20,000 or less, then it will not cost tax, so the taxes will be 0. But then for the next 20,000, this means that the item costs at least 4,000 or more, okay, then the taxes will be 30%. And then if it is more than 40,000 but less than 500,000, then it will pay 40%. But if the item costs even more than the 500,000, then it will pay 50%. Okay, so I organize this information in a table to help you watch it clearer or more simple. So what you need to do is, I would say, start doing decisions here, okay, based on the cost. So check it. We're going to say, for example, here, it's another flowchart where you will ask for the cost of an item. Let me check what's happening here. So you will ask here for the cost of the item, right? Cost. Well, of course, you will ask for something like, what is the cost of the item? And then you receive it. And after that, you're going to start making decisions. I would say that in this problem, a good decision is to evaluate these decisions as nested, okay? So you can say, if the cost is less than 20,000, then the taxes will be 0, fine, because that is what we said in the table. But the other way is, if the cost is less than 40,000, so that is a second decision, right, that you can make here. If the cost is not less than 20,000, so we go by this arm. But if it is less than 40,000, okay, then the taxes will be what? 30% of the cost. So you're going to say it's cost times 0.30, okay? And you continue including more decisions in this side. At the end, of course, what you should display is a total, right? The total will be equal to cost plus the taxes. I mean, cost is the original cost and the taxes that you determined here on these decisions. And you show it, you display it. Okay, so basically that is the solution of the second problem. Okay, I hope that this clarifies it to you. And then for the final problem, guys, here I will leave this problem to you. But the intention is that you create another flowchart that includes several decisions for a company that sells balloons, okay? One decision is linked with the size, another is linked with the image, if you print or not images on the balloons. The other is linked with the color of the balloons. Then there is even another decision that is linked with the type of delivery service. And still a final decision that depends on the quantity of balloons, okay? What I can tell you about this problem is that it is complex, truly, okay? I'm not going to tell you any other thing. Truly, it's a complex problem. But if you cannot solve it entirely, but you have a part that is correct, send it to me, please, okay? And I will consider the process. Of course, if you have all the problems solved, but maybe it doesn't work that good, it's the same idea. Please send it, okay? Send it to me, and I will consider it. But what matters the most, remember, here is your effort, and that you try to solve the problem using what you have seen at this point of the course, okay? Well, I hope that this video helps you to solve this second lab. Any case, if you still have issues, please send me a mail and I will be happy to help you, okay? So let's continue working. Thanks for your attention. Bye-bye.